Right there, welcome back to the channel. United have started, hopefully as we mean to go on, 37 games to go. Managed to get a very late 1-0 win, courtesy of Joshua Zirkzee on his debut off the bench. He actually had a fairly quiet game, but he did the business and did what he was required to do when it came time to put the ball in the back of the net. And thankful for that as well, to be honest with you, because I'd literally just text Ben 30 seconds before we scored saying, I don't know if we're going to have time here to actually get this winner over the line. Thankfully we did. Thankfully we got the 3 points. And it was nothing less than United deserved, in my opinion. Now, I believe Gary Neville was on commentary for Sky, and Gary Neville was very negative about Manchester United. And as such, and I find this quite often, people's perception of how the game has gone is swayed, I think is the best way to put it, by what the likes of Gary Neville and that say. And when he's been very negative about it, I tweeted in the first half, we look good, man. Do you know why I tweeted that? Because we look good. I was seeing some nice shapes. I was seeing some real good individual play. We looked all right on the transition. Like, individually, it wasn't quite as effective. The press looked really good. Mason Mount was chasing everything that moved. There was some, like, real nice individual moments from people. We had Martinez absolutely bodying Adama Traore, which is not an easy thing to do. There was little flashes there from Ahmad. Mainu had some nice little moments. Casemiro looked like he was at it. Mazraoui, I mean, I'm probably talking about Mazraoui on his own in a minute. But, like, I was really impressed with how we looked. Now, this is not a United team that is fit and firing, and we probably won't be until, like, international break. Just the way it is. Martinez, Mainu, Rashford, they've all just played the Charity Shield, and that's the only preparation, plus, you know, a few days of training with the squad to be able to get used to this. Mazraoui's only had a few days of training with the squad to get ready for this game. You know, you're coming up against a very settled Fulham side. A Fulham side that came to Old Trafford last season and absolutely popped us off the park. And United dominated every aspect of it. We won on XG, 2.72 to, like, less than 1. We had plenty of shots. We limited them, I think, to 9 or 10 shots. I think it was something along those lines. We held the ball real nice. The shape was real nice with the ball. We held it in their half. The press was winning the ball in their half. All United were lacking was the finishes. We created the chances. Like, Bruno and Casemiro, between them, could have come away with a brace each, comfortably. Like, we didn't have Zirkzee on until, you know, the late 60th minute. You haven't got a recognised striker on the pitch. You were hoping Ahmad or Marcus can pull you some goals out. And they played okay. They didn't play bad, but they didn't play well either. They just played okay. So you was always going to hurt a little bit for goals, you know, in the circumstance that we find ourselves in. But defensively, we looked solid. Possession looked solid. There was so much positivity about that performance. It was literally just lacking some goals. And people were absolutely losing their shit on social media. I know it's Twitter. But they were. And there was a couple of people that, you know, I actually value the opinion of, who were like, Gary Neville's going in a bit hard. And that's how I found out, oh, Gary Neville's sticking it in on United a little bit, or being a little bit overly negative, or focusing on the negative a little bit about United rather than the things that are going right there. You got to look at the swing. And the swing is, we got ran around against Fulham last season at home at Old Trafford, and you've just beaten them to 0. Yes, it was 1-0. Yes, it was at the end of the day. But if we score those chances in the first half, everyone comes away going, oh my God, didn't we play well? We beat them 3-0 or 4-0 or whatever. And the only difference between beating them 3 or 4-0 was some individual players finishing, because the performance was 2 or 3-0. Easily, maybe not 4. So I was happy. There were some people complaining about the subs, either that the subs killed the momentum or the subs weren't good. I felt the subs were planned. It looked like The two subs we had on the 60th minute with Garnacho and Zirkzee coming on. I mean, I sort of alluded to that in the preview, if you remember. I said Garnacho coming on the 60, and I actually thought Garnacho shown when he came off why he's going to be coming off the bench. You know, there was still moments where he wasn't quite at the races. He wasn't quite, and I think he probably ended up getting the assist. But there was a few moments of like quite poor decision making at times, which I think shows why it isn't like people really lost their shit with what I predicted in the preview, starting Marcus Rashford. But I think he offers better link-up play, and I think he offers better defensive. And I think his decision making, although not amazing, has probably been better than Garnacho's. That's the top and bottom of it. And I didn't think Garnacho did anything today to suggest that he absolutely has to start over Marcus in the next game. Zirkzee, I thought, was relatively quiet when he came on. I thought it was a little bit deep, considering that it's 0-0. We need a goal. I know he plays in between the lines, but at times he was like defensive midfield. I could do with him being a little bit higher up the pitch. Mazraoui, though, for me, probably isn't going to be reflected in anywhere in terms of stats. I don't think many people will agree with this, but I was so impressed with Mazraoui. I thought every single thing he did was intelligent. This is a really weird thing to say, and I can't actually articulate any further than what I mean on this. I thought he looked like a footballer. Like, obviously, I can't explain what I mean. He just looks like a footballer. His body shape, the positions he takes up, the comfortability, the confidence that he plays with. I thought every single time he got on the ball, he looked good. I thought defensively he coped really well. I just thought it was like a flawless performance. And like, I think Iwobi is a real handful, and I thought he coped with him well when he came up against him. Wasn't really troubled, did well in the air, did well man marking. Every time he received the ball, he was quick, he was sharp. Like, I just thought every single thing he did, I was like, nice, yeah, like that, nice, yeah, nice. And I just kept finding myself saying that all the time. De Ligt, obviously, we didn't really see a hell of a lot of. Won the first header that he was asked to deal with. Supposedly, Maguire's gone off with a knock. And I think with Maguire going off with a knock, and probably Mazraoui maybe just knackered by not training so much, that's why you saw Evans and De Ligt coming on. McTominay, I'm surprised it wasn't for Casemiro. And actually, Joe, Casemiro, I've not touched on here, but Casemiro, I thought, covered every single blade of grass, and he was decent today, Casemiro. It was hard because the last 30 minutes or so, Fulham went, all right, we've got a point, we've got a clean sheet, let's keep it that way. And when a team's decided to do that and not to play against you, then you got some problems. But United didn't have, even though we pressed high, we pressed aggressively, we didn't find ourselves having the same issues that we had last season, where we would try and press high, that press gets beaten, and it's a game of basketball and everybody gets 24 shots. You know, we've halved that. Still got to be better. You want to get the opposition down to like 5-6 tops if possible. If you can do that on a regular basis, you'll keep more clean sheets. You know, you won't be required. Like, while we're clearly going to have some issues scoring goals, which I think that we'll have until we get Højlund back at least, while there's issues with us scoring goals, you got to do the defensive work, and you got to do it as a team. And that, for me, was what the pleasing thing was today. United played as a team, we defended as a team, the energy was good, the commitment was good, the work rate was good. That, when I say we played good, that's what I mean. We made chances, we limited the opposition's chances, we progressed the ball nice, we worked for each other. Game one, listen, you win the other 37, you're going to be champions, right? Are we going to do that? No, we're not going to do that. But it's a start. We could have dropped points here tonight, and we didn't. And I'm very happy with that. So, like, that good energy that we've had, let's keep that momentum swinging. Back at it again next week. Put another 3 points on the board, and we will just see where it takes us. But it's an excellent start. For me, Mazraoui was man of the match. Let me know who you thought in the comments. 5 things will be out in the morning. followed by the player ratings video, which did seem to go down quite well last week because we get into it and look at the stats of every single player, which obviously I can't do immediately following the game. But cheers for checking it out. As always, make sure to subscribe if you're new, and give us your thoughts on the game in the comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.